I'm Rachel Rennie. I'm a member of the Young People's Sport panel, and today I'm joined by Ishbel, who has travelled incredible journeys around the world on her bike, and to hear about how she's an inspiration. So, could you tell us a little bit about what you've achieved?
Well, at the moment, most people are interested in the fact that I've been cycling the world for over 2.5 years now, and I've cycled across 16 countries on my own, through Europe, Turkey, and last year was South America.
Tell us about your early experiences in sport at school or at clubs.
Yeah, so my early experiences were perhaps limited to a lot of other kids nowadays. I did win a few medals at school, but it was just on sports days and for short events, short running events. But I was a really anxious kid, so I didn't like anyone looking at me. I didn't like to be the centre of attention. I liked to be in a corner, out of the way. So sports day for me was quite an anxious event, an anxious day for me. I did get involved with gymnastics for a bit, but I quit that because I couldn't even manage a handstand and cartwheel, which were pretty basic requirements for gymnastics. And that's about it really, just playing rounders on break times, and that was about the extent of it, to be honest.
So can you tell us about your journey in sport, in cycling?
Yeah, so the bicycle was always a big factor in my life. I don't have a driving licence, and I've no intention really of having one because the bicycle gets me everywhere I need to go. And I used to spend a lot of time on the weekends hill walking and camping and cycling all over Scotland because it is one of the most beautiful countries in the world to explore. Yeah. And then I joined a cycling club, and to be honest, I spent a lot of time in those first days cycling on my own because I wasn't fast enough to keep up. I had lots of endurance, but I didn't have any speed. But I stuck at it, and I got faster, and then I got faster for longer, and then I was able to keep up. And then, much to my surprise, I was able to keep up with the fast boys, even though I was sort of hanging on for dear life. And it was actually Sports Scotland and the Scottish Institute of Sport were running a programme called Gold for Glasgow. And I filled out an application form and went in for testing, and then I was accepted on to that programme. And that programme taught me a lot of really valuable tools that I've then really applied to my life, such as having a healthy mindset that allows you to progress. And I'm still to this day very thankful of that opportunity for being on that programme. And then a women's team approached me, and I began racing with them all over the UK. And the Criswell Velodrome was built, and I went along to a taster session, and it turns out I was a pure sprinter. And in one of my first competitions, I beat a Commonwealth Games silver medalist.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I went on to race for the Iranian national women's team. So that was how I sort of progressed.
Thank you. So you've been on some incredible journeys. You travel around the world solely on your bike. Has there ever been moments where you've thought, I can't really do this, that kind of positive mindset has gone away, and what pulled you through?
Well, I think it's just a really easy thing to do, is just think you can't do something. And it's not real, because you can do anything that you want to do. You know, everyone's got different rates of progression. Sometimes when you're trying things, you look around you and you see other people getting better quicker.
Yeah.
But, you know, just don't give another thought to that, because it's not important. Like, the rate of progression does not dictate the outcome, so it's completely irrelevant. With regards to cycling the world, I think one of the biggest things that I've learned on the journey is that, you know, you have many people that have everything that they need to succeed, and they don't. and you have lots of people out there that don't have what they need to succeed, and they go ahead and do it anyway. And that's because mindset is such a powerful factor in success.
Thank you. So on your journey you spoke out and you actually get into some inequality in cycling. Would you be able to tell us about the work that you've done in this area and why you feel passionate about it?
Yeah, so I mean, I've got a lot of experience of cycling and cycle racing in the UK and also in Iran. And I was cycling across, I think Bolivia was my 15th country by bike. I was cycling across Bolivia, and the supreme leader of Iran, the person at the top, issued a fatwa against women riding their bikes in public in Iran. So it was kind of like a religious law that they weren't allowed to do it. And so that's when I began to speak out about every woman in the world or girl having the right to ride their bicycle, should they wish, because at the moment it's hard for us to understand in this country, because equal rights is so developed here, but in other countries women and girls are told by their fathers, by their brothers, by their husbands, even by their mothers, they're not allowed to ride a bicycle because it's not something that a good woman would do. So, you know, I speak out on television, radio, newspapers, magazines as I'm cycling the world for every woman's right to ride a bicycle.
Thank you. Would you be able to tell us about some of the best and happiest memories of your adventures? There must be quite a few.
Yeah, I mean, when I set out to cycle the world, it was a big, for me it was a big chance I was taking, because I'd always been too scared to do it. And then I just like took the chance. Did
you have a moment where you were like, right, I'm going to do it? Or...
I just woke up one day and I looked around me and I realised I didn't actually like my life. Many people would have loved my life, but for me it just wasn't ticking the boxes of what was going to make me happy. And I thought about it and I thought, right, you know, I've worked so hard to get to where I am. I'm going to try my ultimate dream and just see. So when I set off, I mean, I wasn't even nervous setting off to cycle the world solo, because I genuinely believed I would be back within the month because I was too scared to do it. And you know, for me it's just turned out to be the most incredible and wonderful experience, like more than what I could ever imagine. And I'm just really just living my dream. But you know, for me to get this life, I had to obviously walk through that fear to get here. And there's just so many incredible moments around the world. For me, what sticks out really is the generosity and consideration of complete strangers. You know, like when you're here and you're watching the news all the time and it's all bad, you know, and human beings are doing all bad things to each other. But that's just not the reality, because like every day when I'm cycling the world, people are just so kind and don't even know me. A highlight was, for me, in my 10th country, was meeting a street dog called Lucy. And that, for me, was just the best part of my trip. And I'm actually writing a book just now about that experience in the first year of cycling the world.
That's great, thank you so much. Now, this might be quite a hard question. So, if you could take anything with you on your adventures, regardless of size and weight, what do you think it would be?
A bed.
A bed.
A bed.
I can imagine.
Oh, like, you know, it's funny because people don't really realise what you're living without when you're doing something like cycling the world.
Yeah.
Because I live most of the time without electricity. I'm not in my tent with power plugs and, you know, I don't have hot water a lot of the time. I can go a couple of weeks without having a shower. And a bed, I mean, I'm inside my little one-woman tent on a little thin mattress. And when I do come back home to visit, I get very excited.
Even when you've been on a short trip away, there's nothing like your bed.
Yeah. Yeah, and like when I come back, sometimes I find myself doing really weird things. Like I'll be in my friend's living room and I find myself just looking at the radiator. Just I'm amazed that there's central heating in the house.
Yeah, I've been without it for a long time.
Yeah.
That's good. So if we're sitting here a year from now, celebrating what a successful and adventurous year you've had, what do you wish to have achieved?
Yeah. So I wouldn't really say I would wish to achieve, because I already know what's happening this year.
Yeah.
So it's already, I've planned it, I know what I'm doing, and I know what I'm going to have achieved the following year. So on the 1st of June, I set off, and I'm cycling 4,500 kilometres across Brazil. And then I am navigating thousands of kilometres through the Amazon. Then I've got the northern tip of Ecuador to cycle in Colombia. And I'm ditching the bike then, and I'm going to go hitchhiking through Peru for a little break. And at this time next year, we'll be in the final moments just before the book is being published in the world.
Wow, that's awesome. Well, good luck with all your travels and all your adventures.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.